can you talk a little bit about how the pandemic affected your ability to sell your products and services, and how online platforms such as Facebook have helped you continue that business?
Yeah, I will say first and foremost, without Facebook, I would not have survived. My business would not still be in business today without Facebook, with all the support and tools that we use. So because of the shutdowns in March, wineries, breweries, no gathering, quarantine, we had to close our doors between March and the beginning of July when we finally started doing tours again. So during that time, I figured, well, I still have to figure out how to work. I still have to make sure that my business stays in front of people. We grew our business online, with Facebook, with Instagram, with the website that I built. So all of that was important. That was, we weren't out there pounding the pavement and going to events. We were socially, that's how people found us. So I decided, since I still had the van sitting there and I was quarantined and I had a fridge full of Virginia wine, I would just start doing virtual wine tastings. I would just go on to Facebook Live and I'd say, hey, if you can't drink with me, you can drink with me. So it started out actually in my basement. And I would sit here and I would have, this isn't wine, or is it? I would have my wine and I would have the bottle and I would tell people what I'm drinking. And then I talk about what it's like being in quarantine with my dog, my husband, my adult son. It just became a conversation. People would talk back, to me, and it just got more and more popular. And then somebody mentioned something about karaoke, because I love karaoke. I'm a horrible singer, but I absolutely love just to perform. I have no ego around it. The worse I sound, the better my performance, as far as I'm concerned. So my husband was getting kind of sick of hearing me wailing down here in the basement, singing all these songs. He's like, go in the van and do that. And I was like, oh, what a great idea. So I would turn on all the lights in the van. So it looks like I'm in a nightclub. And I found a way to actually put karaoke into the van. Through the speakers in the van and everything. So it just became this big old party. My biggest one went pretty viral with almost 7,000 views last time I checked. So that was just crazy. So it became just this quirk and karaoke thing where I would do a tasting and then I would sing bad songs. Well, from there, we decided, we can help wineries by maybe doing some deliveries. So, we masked up, we gloved up, we made arrangements with several wineries to go and pick up their wine and then deliver it at the driveways for people in certain towns. So we started doing that for a bit, but then, things started to escalate with COVID. So we thought, okay, for our own safety, back in quarantine. So during that time, we also saw the platform of Facebook Lives as a way to raise money. So we saw the little donate button. I was like, what is this? So I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, I can pick these charities and I can raise money. So I started raising money for the tourism and hospitality community here in Loudoun County. And I would just call and get a 2-drink minimum, so what would you spend on 2 drinks at a bar? Go ahead and click donate that. And that's going to get to the restaurant workers, the business owners, the laid off bartenders, and hotel service folks and maids and all these people in hospitality who just weren't working. So I worked with Visit Loud and I talked to them about it and made donations there. Then it became, okay, some businesses are opening back up on a smaller scale. How do I help them? So then I started shouting them out during the presentation, during the whole thing. And I would have owners come on and do interviews using things like StreamYard to do, a side-by-side interview on a Facebook Live. I used my Facebook page to put the links and information about who's doing things to go, who's doing curbside service, what's going on in town, where should you go, what should you expect when you get there? So that continued growing. So I also used Facebook groups. The groups were crucial. A lot of really great groups came out of this, where businesses weren't out there just promoting themselves, but they were also out there collaborating with other businesses and doing things to move each other forward. And that's continuing today. That came out of this was doing all of these, all of my social media, all of my Facebook Lives involving other businesses. Businesses then came to me and said, hey, can you come and do a wine tasting for us? We have a small, socially distanced area. We'd love to try to get people back out in a safe way. We love your personality, what you're doing with wine, your knowledge about it. You want to come do a tasting? And I was like, sure, why not? So I would sit down with places like, there's a restaurant called The Conch. There's a national chain called Eddie Merlot's, a steakhouse. Sat down, looked at the menu, tasted the food, tasted the wine, put together these great tastings. Then private people contacted me and said, hey, I want to do something like that, but with all my sorority sisters all over America. Can you make that happen? And I was like, yes, I can. So I contacted one of the wineries that does kits and said, hey, can you ship to these 10 states? And they said, yes, we can. And I said, okay, let's go. And so that actually created another brand called Go Be Great, which is my, it's an homage to my mentor who always told me to go be great. But what that is virtual and on-site wine tasting. So if we do get stricter, restrictions again, or get into another quarantine or a shutdown where we can't gather, but we can still commune, I will continue as a business being able to use a virtual platform. And that all started from Facebook Live.
That's really incredible. So what it sounds like is that you were able to use Facebook not only to save your business, but help other small businesses, not just in your area, but across the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really, even, in Nebraska, where I'm from, Bellevue, Nebraska, they got wind of what I was doing and did some alumni pieces. And when I went into those Facebook groups, I would start talking to them about how I did it. I did a Loom presentation. It's another, platform so you can do things online. I did a Loom presentation teaching people how to set up an online charity contest. And it went into the leader group, and hundreds of people, were watching and learning how to, do charitable giving. That was also great marketing for our company. So yeah, I mean, I've been able to help a lot of different people